Up on YouTube, hopefully,
Hmm.
and the volume turned down, hopefully.
Just waiting for it to go live officially.
Remember, I'm supposed to remind you that turn the volume down.
Hmm.
It looks like we are live on YouTube. I do believe.
Oh my God, we're live.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 25. Wowza. That's amazing. Episode 25 of Pick Our Brains with Ken Getterman from
Don't say common ground finds now.
Animal F 52 on eBay, and he is Max Rubeck with Common Ground Finds, where
And
everything
paper gold.
Common Ground Finds where everything is common. That's my slogan for Max.
How are you, Kent?
I'm doing good. Busy still. Yesterday I had no break. Today no break. Supposed to be my day off tomorrow. Who knows?
Yeah, I do hope that we can talk a little bit about yesterday as well, because I do think yesterday was very groundbreaking, although we haven't really given it that heading, but I think yesterday was very groundbreaking. Um, I think if we had asked people ahead of time what they thought would happen to both sales, yours and mine, back to back, it would not have been what actually happened.
Hmm.
Do you disagree?
Well, how about we tell the folks that I had my first Sunday morning whatnot show.
Mhm. Well, no one's here yet, so you may want to wait.
Well, Vivek is here. Vivek says hi. Um, she is right from it. Must have been watching an archaeology stream, two of her favorite streams, one right after another. Well, welcome, Vivek. I'm going to reply to your email that you sent yesterday. I'm behind. I responded to Troy today, and I apologized for um being so slow. I have text, voicemails, emails, eBay, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, whatnot. I have seven groups of people messaging me every day.
And
So
then my phone calls.
yeah, so sometimes I fall behind on my responding to people, but I usually get back to everyone eventually.
Can I get a little personal here, real quick?
No.
Ververka, what do you think of the shaved head?
Oh,
The curls are gone, Ververka. What do you think?
are you gonna let it grow out this summer? Or are you gonna keep it short?
I'll probably let it grow out towards the end of the summer.
Okay,
Because I
perfect.
go swimming every day in the summer, I like to just be streamlined.
Yeah, and again, like with me with running in the summer, why would you want long hair? Plus, my receding hairline is
Yeah,
another.
right. If it doesn't grow, what's the point, right?
Sweaty hair. Sweaty hair is another reason to get
You're
rid of
you're,
it.
you're like a Marvel villain. You're like Lex Luger.
Yes. Viverka says noise. She likes it. Well, you want to hop into our first topic?
Well, can we rewind and get back to yesterday first? Because
Oh yeah. Okay.
I want to make sure that I think it was pretty groundbreaking. It says a lot for me. So I'll let you tell the story and then I'll come in.
Well, I guess my portion of the story is usually I do whatnot shows Tuesday night, but I'm maybe possibly transitioning into doing two shows a week on whatnot. So I did a show Sunday morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. It was about an hour and a half long show, and I have mine scheduled for next Sunday as well. Now, I mean, you could do a morning show any day of the week, and I think people would show up. Um, most people do them at night, but then there's a lot more competition with other sellers on at that same time. I did a ton of marketing for my show. Speaking of which, me and Max just recorded a How to Have a Successful Whatnot show, and that's going to come out Wednesday this week. So stay tuned, Wednesday morning.
We finally did it, everybody. We finally did it.
Yes. So where was I going with that? So I shared the heck out of it. And Sunday morning, I had anywhere from 40 to 50 people watching for the first maybe half hour, 45 minutes. And then it dwindled down to like mid 30s for viewers, which for any show is great. I would say at night there's a few shows that will have, 30 to 40 viewers, and then a lot of them have, maybe 5 to 15 or 20.
Is that really what the story is about? Your show?
Well, it was a very successful show. I sold some amazing stuff, and In an hour and a half, I sold $1,062, I think.
But that's not what was groundbreaking.
Okay, what
Ken's totally missing the story here.
I'm breaking on
The
this.
fact is that I followed you,
Okay, yep, Max followed me.
and where some people might thought it might die off a little bit, that all the book buyers were buying from Ken's early show, not the case. I did my show, did it just under 1,000, 984, I think, just under 1,000. But to me, what that is showing, we both had new buyers. We both had new buyers that we never had before. Um, and that the book audience is there. I think Kent had 14 or 15 new buyers. I had 5 or 6 new buyers. So that's about 20 new buyers that had never bought from us before. Now, we're not saying they'd never been to our shows before, but yesterday, whoever they were decided to buy.
Yeah. We definitely have some overlap in repeat buyers that, I mean, there's a slew of names that we know
Mhm.
so and so and so and so and so and so is a regular. Um, and then like every show we're having new buyers that people we've never heard of. And again, like people will buy at my show for an hour and a half, and then they'll go to Max's show and buy for another hour and a half or 2 hours.
So I just think, some people have a little distaste and hate and poor understanding of what whatnot is, and they don't know. But it also shows me that the buyers are out there. The platform is growing I'm going to say by the day, the platform is growing. And even though you may say to someone, oh, have you seen that new platform, whatnot? If they say no, my feeling is within another year, most people will know the name whatnot as they also know eBay and Amazon. I think they need another year and maybe a big publicity campaign. But I think most people within a year are going to know what whatnot and live bidding is.
Yeah, and I think the point of our video coming out on Wednesday is that anyone can be successful. It doesn't just have to be books. It doesn't just have to be signed leather books or anything majorly high end. Anyone can be successful having a whatnot show if they just follow our tips.
Tips, tricks, hacks, and money
Whatnot.
making, whatever's.
Yeah. Okay. We got some great comments. Verka says you look like me. That's what I said. He wants to be a bookseller like me, and I told him you need to shave your head. If you want to be a bookseller like me, you need to shave your head. So, oh, and Verka says she's gonna join in as well and shave her head too. That'd be nice. Just so we're all on the same page. She said, "Congrats on the whatnot success." And also, you're gonna agree with this one. Maybe it will phase out eBay eventually.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting comment from her because of what we're about to talk about. eBay is global. It's such a large platform. But I think clearly most people who sell on eBay are going to agree there has to be changes. They seem like a very stagnant platform right now. There is nothing new going on. Um, them changing the word of the newsletter to whatever they news story, whatever they did, that's big news in the eBay world. Meanwhile, the other platforms are going ahead with live bidding and they're literally blowing up and getting a lot of attention. So that should lead us to today's discussion, which is 5 things that you and I wish eBay would change to make it better for buyers and sellers.
Yep. Just back on that topic, I just want to say right now, every person that buys something from me on eBay, I'm sending them my business card, but then I'm also sending them a slip of paper that says, "Hey, check out my YouTube channel and check out my whatnot shows." And then same with my whatnot people, I'm telling, "Hey, check out my eBay as well." So I'm trying to get everyone bidding everywhere. I'm trying to promote to my eBay customers my whatnot shows, and actually several of them have went both ways to become
Right.
buyers
But
on
you
the other
also
one.
see what's coming. You see that the marketplace is changing and where it's going to end up, we don't know, but it is changing.
Yeah, it's definitely changing. I mean, I could do whatnot shows every day, but it's emotionally exhausting. I feel like I have to be a salesperson talking for an hour and a half. I think I've done a little bit longer shows than that, and you've done like an all day stream.
Mhm.
It's exhausting being on there, talking and describing and like you're a salesperson, and it's tough.
Yeah, I did a 7.5 show probably 5, 6 months ago, and it's a blur to me to remember it, but I did do 7.5 hours, and I don't know, I could never do it again.
No, I mean I drank my whole glass of water during the show, so I'm like, oh man, I'm thirsty, and like there's books piled everywhere. It's a mess, and you're getting tired, and then you got to ship it all. So
Right.
yeah, an hour and a half is good for me. All right, one more chat, and then we'll get to our next topic. RFC says you don't worry about getting banned from eBay for posting about other sites. Well, I just put a piece of paper with when I sell something, I put a piece of paper into my with my sale with the package. And also on Whatnot, I will openly say, hey, I'm Animal Vet 52 over on eBay as well, which I think is probably a little bit against their rules. But they're not super strict yet about
Yeah,
promoting your other
but
platforms.
I think Whatnot clearly understands most of their sellers are multi-platform selling.
Yeah.
They're
And
they're not
they're the new
gonna put
guy.
you in
eBay's trying
jail.
to
Yeah,
yeah,
they're not going to put you in jail like the other platforms will.
eBay's trying to protect themselves. If eBay catches you doing and it is against the rules on Whatnot to like give out your PayPal address because you want to sell the rest of something to someone or you want to do a bulk deal to someone. They want you to keep it in the site, but they're not quite as crazy as eBay is. Eventually they might be. All right. So some things that eBay can work on. I forget what we named this segment.
Changes we would like to see eBay make that they should have made by now is what I would have
Yeah,
called it. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I will start. This is a huge one, and I cannot for the life of me figure out why eBay has never. Maybe they've thought about it, but they've never done it. They've never attempted it. Is
Speaking of
doing
live bidding,
yes, is doing us well, and they are doing the live bidding, but that's not really going anywhere
right?
yet at this point. Well, we talked about the eBay live auctions probably about 8 months ago, and eBay, as far as I can tell, hasn't really changed anything, hasn't opened it up to new buyers and categories in 8 months.
Right.
And I have no hope that's going anywhere. Otherwise, I'd love to do eBay live auctions, but it's not going anywhere. Okay, so first one, soft close for eBay auctions. So on Whatnot, you can do sudden death. So you can count it down from 10 seconds or 30 seconds, and then at 0 seconds, it ends. But me and Max, we usually both do a soft close. So if a bid happens in the last 5 seconds of the auction, it ticks back up to 5 seconds. So you can't snipe at the last millisecond. It gives the backup bidder 5 more seconds to bid.
Yeah, not just the backup bidder, other prospective bidders. It gives them a few extra seconds to maybe put a bid in, and so one, the reason for this is it would prevent sniping, which happens daily on eBay, thousands of times a day. Um, and number two, I don't get why eBay doesn't do it because they would get more money from the rebids from all of the auctions going on all day, all night long. Subsequently, they're going to make more money. So the fact that I don't understand why eBay hasn't changed this is a little disheartening to me because I don't think they understand the marketplace.
Yeah, and maybe just the whole software aspect of it. And like if you looked at the items ending soonest, it would kind of be jumping around. I don't quite know. But as a bidder, I like sudden death auctions and that ones that just come down and end. Because
Mhm.
me, I'm bidding in the last like 5 seconds. I'm sniping, I'm putting in a bid, and a lot of times I get it and don't give the other bidders a second to get outbid, and they'll be like, oh shoot, we got to bid again.
Right, but as a
But as a
seller, you want
seller,
to
yeah,
take it.
as a seller, where I'm losing out on tons of money and eBay's losing out on tons of fees by
Mhm.
not allowing that. So, just an idea that
If
would
you
be great.
agree with us, let us know. If you don't agree, put that in the chat as well. Let us know what your feelings are.
Yeah.
These are just things that Kent and I have talked about from time to time, and we decided to sort of compile them into a short list for pick our brains. But we would love to hear what your thoughts are on what we talk about.
Yes. All right, next one. Um, let's go with easier listing. I will say when I list something on Whatnot, you snap up to 10 pictures, you put the title, the weight, the category, which it allows you to just use the same category over and over again. So it's pretty quick. There are options for item specifics, but you don't have to enter any of them. Whereas eBay says if you want your items to show up higher, we want you to have as many item specifics. So it's kind of a game to get as many item specifics in a timely manner to hopefully have your items show up higher. Whatnot, I can get an item listed. You snap the pictures, do a title, wait. I mean, with it can take anywhere from a minute, probably a minute or two per item.
Right.
Whereas eBay is just so much more time consuming to upload the photos, title, just big long description, and then item specifics.
Yeah, for me, I can do a Monday 10 item show in just about 20 minutes on Whatnot. And if I were to do 10 items on eBay, it would probably be over 30 to 45 minutes.
Yeah. And I will say also, like, one of the cool things about Whatnot is there's plenty of people that don't load a single item into their shop. They just go live and run it. They just have 1 pound book, 2 pound book, 3 pound book, and they're like, okay, we have this book right here. I'm going to show you and tell you about it for a couple minutes and run it as a 2 pound book. And you don't have to spend any time preparing other than entering a few generic items and setting your books aside.
Yeah, the Whatnot has really made shipping so easy for multiple items. It's just so easy.
Yeah, even if eBay would get rid of the stupid item specifics, I hate the fact that I have to spend time entering item specifics. And I usually put the author, the date, country of manufacturing, because that's usually it's either the US or the UK for the most part. And then language is usually English, so maybe a couple a night I have to change the language on. So I try to be a little bit efficient and not go too into depth with the item specifics, but it's a waste of time. And even like the clothing ones, they're constantly changing and wanting you to enter 5,000 different item specifics, and I just find it to be pointless. Midwest Book Guy, what's up? How's it going? We got Midwest Book Guy in the chat. And we got Junkman in the chat. Hey, Junkman.
Yeah. Also, RFC says eBay needs a way to combine shipping, which is one of our top 5. Not so much combined shipping nationally, but be able to combine shipping with their international program. It is always a headache when someone buys multiple items on eBay internationally. So oftentimes I have to cancel the order, put everything together in one listing for the buyer, and then resubmit the listing.
Okay, this is funny. Junkman had the alarm set for 4:30. We're half an hour early. Whoops. I didn't realize. Max asked me last week, like, or you asked me yesterday, like, what time? And I'm like, 4. 5 for you, 4 for me. And I just looked back.
So it was 5:30. It was 5:30.
Whoops. Sorry. I guess we're early today.
You know what? I felt like a little rushed today. I felt
Okay.
after my Whatnot show, I felt like, oh my gosh, where's my link?
I suppose your show's at 4, and then usually our show's at 5:30. So usually you have
I have an hour. Yeah.
Whoops.
So we have Junkman. It's going to go back to the regular time next week.
That's my bad. But
that's
also
how busy we are. That's how busy we are. We don't even realize it.
We can remember stupid stuff about a book we sold 3 months ago, but we can't remember what time our show is supposed to be.
That we do every week. So
okay.
Anyways, combining international shipping is one of our top 5 things we wish eBay would figure out and change, because it is always a hassle. And I oftentimes tell my international shippers, if they want a better deal, buy more books instead of just one book. Because if I can ship many to you in one box, you're going to pay less in fees.
Or actually, you know what? I think maybe the most efficient thing would be to take those, say they're interested in 3 items, for you to create a new listing for them with the exact weight. Because I just got a message, I think today, about someone from the UK that wants to bid on some of my auctions. And they said, like, do you combine shipping? Will I save anything? And my only response is, it's up to the global shipping program. I'll combine them and send them to Chicago, and then they're going to charge you whatever the heck they charge you. I can't guarantee you're going to get any discount. So the global shipping program, combined shipping, I don't know how it works, because usually I'm overestimating by a pound per item. So if they're buying 3 items, it's going to be a few pounds under. And then I don't know how exactly that works, but I think the international buyers that are buying multiple items from you are probably getting a little screwed on paying extra.
By the way, Kent, Midwest Book Guy is Jesse from Kansas, one of our newest, our three,
Oh, okay,
one of
cool.
our three newest paper golders. And Jesse just sent me some pictures earlier today of an 1869 business ledger,
Oh, that's cool.
post Civil War, with some articles and newspaper clippings in it. So there's some ephemera inside. So I'm going to look at it later on for him.
Yep, he said he just made a YouTube channel like you told him to do. That's I mean, everyone should have a YouTube channel. Every bookseller, even if you put out one video a month and just say, "Hey, I'm picking in Topeka, Kansas or whatever. I'm picking in Chicago." I mean, you've got deals, I've got deals. We've all got something out of having a YouTube channel. Even though we're not massive YouTube channels with huge viewerships, I think the ability to connect with people and then probably drum up some business is amazing.
I hope Junkman doesn't expect us to go a whole hour now today since
No.
we're early.
Shoot, we don't have to start for another 11 minutes.
That's
All
it.
right. Next
All right.
topic.
Yep, next one.
What is this? I wrote down new shipping. Oh, this was one that I came up with.
Yep.
I was listing something the other day and needed to come up with it was a huge 80-pound set of books. So in order, I was listing it on my computer and for some reason, it wanted me to set up a new shipping policy and you have to name it and select different things. Otherwise, I just use like a media mail, charge the buyer actual media mail cost, and then I just have to enter the weight. And it wouldn't let me come up with a new shipping policy. It's way too complicated. eBay should just have it so, okay, you can ship it by weight, and you can offer them priority or media mail. And then like I just wanted to be like, okay, give me a thing where I could just charge. It's going to be two 40-pound boxes. Just let me charge $80 for shipping this set. And it was so complicated. So eventually I just went with one 69-pound box. I'm going to have to cover the extra as a seller because of this stupid eBay system.
It's always been like that, though. It's
Yeah,
always been like that.
it's so unfriendly as a seller. Just let me charge what I want, or calculate it. But and I just wanted like even if I could do okay a 50-pound box and then a $30 handling fee, but it would not give me that option. I just did max weight for one box and I'll cover the extra 20 or $30. It was really frustrating. Oh, this was okay.
I see.
We have we got some questions.
No, I saw Junkman was talking about my radio show on Saturday.
Yes, Max is a radio star now. He was on Bucks on the Bookshelf with Steve Eisenstein.
Mhm.
He does a radio show on a local radio station every Saturday morning from 10 to noon. And Max is hopefully going to be a guest on there in the near future again.
Oh, once a month. We've agreed it's going to be one. I'm going to go on once a month with him and talk about what we do.
Yep, Max is everywhere. YouTube, he's on this YouTube channel, his own YouTube channel. Do you want to show your links quick?
I don't know if I have it near me. I don't have it
Uh-oh.
near.
Okay. Well, he's Common Ground Finds on almost everything. He's Paper Gold Podcast on YouTube. Yeah, just look for Common Ground Finds on Instagram, Facebook,
You'll find
but
it.
not eBay. Okay, next one. This was your idea, which I'm like, no, this is the craziest idea I've ever heard. eBay should lower their fees.
Mhm. Well, I did ask you to do a little homework with me and look at what the fees used to be, and how much they've grown or risen. When I first started eBay, I remember the fees I used to pay were 9.2%. I clearly remember that. And subsequently and progressively through the years, they've gone up now. And now you're almost at 18% within the book category. So that, that in less than 10 years, that fee number has doubled. Now I understand eBay is not about to take money out of their pocket. I understand it's a weird idea, but my point is this: there seems to be a growing sediment of unhappiness and distaste towards eBay. There seems to be people leaving the platform totally. A lot of larger, well-known YouTubers have left eBay for platforms like Etsy and whatnot. And sometimes you have to extend the olive branch. And my cutting of fees is the olive branch that eBay needs to do to get their sellers and their buyers that have left the system to come back.
And maybe the more realistic solution is to not be pushing promoted listings so much, because eBay, if your sales are a little slow for a month or a week, eBay is going to tell you, oh, you need to promote your listings. You need to pay us extra fees to get your items in front of more buyers and sell more stuff. So that would be a good solution if they weren't hawking their promoted listings so much, trying to get us to pay extra fees.
Mhm.
And I mean, I think they tell you to promote at the average rate for your category, which for books supposedly is like 9 point some percent extra fees that they want you to pay when your item sells. I think if you talk to one of their customer service reps, they would tell you that you could promote at 2 to 3%, and that you'd see a noticeable jump in your sales. So that's where they're really killing some sellers, is you're paying the standard 9% plus processing fee plus promoted listings.
Right. So what are you paying your store fee for then? I mean, it came from out of nowhere. It feels like it's a big scam. And again, what I always tell people, or I ask people who do promoted listings, where's the promotion? What other avenues do you see your books falling into that I'm not seeing? And nobody's ever able to answer that question as straightforward as I put it.
Well, I think eBay would tell you that you're getting more eyes on your items, more clicks, and hopefully more sales.
Right.
But could you imagine? I think there's a lot of people that just promote everything at 10%, which, could you imagine paying 25% in eBay fees? That would be, I mean,
Well, if everybody keeps promoting at 10, then eBay is going to raise that number to 15, and they're going to they're going to get there. I mean, sometimes as sellers, we are the worst competition because we're the ones who inflate the numbers, and that has to change.
but I think we would probably both agree that a lot of the people that are promoting heavy to get those sales are going to be gone. They're going to quit. I mean, they're not
Yeah,
going to.
they already are. They
I
already
don't
are.
think any business could survive at 25% fees plus shipping rates going up and all the other stuff. I don't think anyone could survive at promoting at 10%.
Well, look at the fees that Amazon takes for in their categories.
Yeah.
It's borderline financial rape. I
Yeah.
mean, it's crazy.
Yep. Midwest Book Guy says they are bulk, so they use brown printed matter pre. So I was able to ship pretty large sets at low cost, but their terminal is saying that that they'll probably be losing bound printed matter.
Not
And I think
not
that
probably, definitely.
it sounds like that's going away.
It's definitely going away.
Yep. So back to media mail. And actually, I think at this point for big heavy boxes, 30, 40 pound boxes, FedEx is so darn close to media mail, and in some cases actually cheaper. So maybe for light stuff we're lucky, but for the big stuff, FedEx might be the way to go. RFC says try promoting a website. Yeah, I think promoting a website would be the same kind of throwing money, hopefully to get some traffic. All right, next, I think this is the last thing we
Yeah, I think we
had
have one
for,
more.
yep, better customer service.
Oof, wow. Forgot about that one.
Yeah.
Do you want to rewind and talk about how it used to be, or do you want to just go into what it is now for those who don't have the concierge service?
Yeah. You go ahead. You tell me how it used to be.
Well, I remember if I had a question that I needed answering for eBay, I would call. I would normally get somebody, I think, in Iowa or Indiana, Iowa or Indiana, and oftentimes they were sellers themselves.
Yeah.
Oftentimes
Yep.
they were sellers themselves, so they clearly understood whatever problem has arisen in my life that I needed fixing. Um, I remember, I clearly remember if there was an issue of negative feedback that wasn't that wasn't true and pure, that maybe you would talk to two people and then it would get removed. You may have to go above the person you're calling, but it would eventually get removed. Now that's non-existent. Um, and now when you call, you're calling, I believe, the Philippines for most cases, and you are dealing with someone who is not familiar with eBay. They're not eBay sellers, and they're reading off of a script. And that script is a flow chart depending on whatever you answer. So it's a
Mhm.
lot harder to communicate your issues and your problems that need solutions and fixes. Um, but the simple idea of just having better customer service would just go would just be, be such a blessing to get that back. You and I have said this time and time again. To get unlawful negative feedback removed, is it's not even worth calling anymore because they don't remove it. Why would eBay want to hurt its sellers? That's the part I don't understand. The negative feedback numbers are growing, and it hurts the sellers, which subsequently you would think hurts eBay. But they can't put one and one together on that. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I've been so lucky. I don't think I've got a negative feedback in probably 3 months, and that's like amazing to me to not even, the weirdest stuff. Whether someone like I've got negative feedback for like someone didn't realize the size of the book. The book was small, even though I put the dimensions in the listing. It's like eBay. What more can I do? I offer them a return. They don't take it. There's so few situations now at this point that eBay would take off a negative feedback. And it was a really decent system where eBay would just automatically take maybe if they took off one a month or something, depending on your sales volume. And also like, sure, if you as a seller are an asshole and say something rude to the person, maybe eBay shouldn't take the feedback off.
Right.
But if the buyer's just being unreasonably difficult, I think it would make everyone good instead of eBay supporting that difficult buyer. And it's like in some cases, eBay will like someone will leave negative feedback, but they'll say amazing item, great seller. So they accidentally left it. And eBay's only solution is for you to send them a feedback revision request, and good luck with that.
So those are the top five things that Kent and I have talked about throughout the past year or so about things we wish eBay would change. So if anybody from eBay happens to listen to this, I know Kent and I would be definitely open to a conversation if you ever wanted to have one. We do feel like you are void of having conversations with your sellers, and I think you guys are sweating a little bit, and maybe it's time for a conversation with some of the people who've been with you for a long time.
We got Anthony Thomas Experience said, "Good afternoon, fellas. Do you offer auction listings or just buy it nows on your books?" Well, I
I'll
was
let you answer that one.
okay. On eBay, I am doing almost exclusively auctions. I think I have about 30 buy it nows, and I used to have a majority buy it nows, and I'd filter in some auctions. At this point, I'm doing 30 auctions, 6 nights
Okay.
a week. Um, so I'm 98% of my sales are coming from eBay auctions. I start them at a buck with no reserves. And that just has been working absolutely amazingly for me. Max has mostly buy it nows and will filter in some auctions, though now he's the auction king on Whatnot, starting everything at a buck.
Yeah. So yeah, we do the best of both worlds. And Anthony, we really just try to move books. We try to give people great value, and don't, welcome in, and don't be afraid to ask us more questions. That's a great question you're asking. And if you can follow Kent's bookstore on eBay or my bookstore on eBay, and then follow us on Whatnot, you'll definitely get a complete view of everything we do, which is very large and extensive. So thank you for that question.
And I think the future of reselling seems to be more auctions because whether it's the YouTubers that are selling clothing or video games or books or whatever, they're looking at their business model of putting out buy it nows or best offer and stuff's sitting forever. You're going to sell a small fraction of your inventory, but if you could auction it all and maybe not get full retail, but get a nice competitive price on that stuff, and get paid within 7 days or 10 days, whenever your auctions end, they're looking at the math and realizing that the auction system for cash flow and profit per day, all of that stuff is just better.
Or get paid daily from Whatnot.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, you can literally get paid daily. I mean, I only take out the money once a week, but there are plenty of people going, cash flow hungry that want to get the money each day.
Yep. Wardell just did an interview with Katie Reeds, and he was just saying that he can do a sale on Sunday, sell $500 worth of stuff, and that money is in his account that day. Everything is paid for. He gets to ship it all right away. No waiting for payment, no non-paying buyers, no returns, none of that stuff.
Yeah, we're gonna have to have Wardell on as a guest coming up because I think people would love to hear his story.
Yeah. Yep. Junkman says that he saw a Facebook post complaining about a scam reply, and eBay replied to their post on Facebook. eBay, I'm not saying they don't always hire the most competent people. I will just say that.
You're putting it nicely, Ken. I've heard you say much stronger.
Yeah, I have theories. Max knows my theories, and they're not appropriate for Facebook Live.
Or pick our brains.
Yeah. Anything else? Any questions?
No, I'm glad. Two things. Number one, I'm glad we did this. We talked about this for a while. Top 5 things we wish eBay would change. Number two, I'm very excited about, again, what transpired yesterday on Whatnot for both of us. And most importantly, number 3, we finally did the how to succeed on Whatnot video. And when will that be posted?
Wednesday morning.
That will be posted Wednesday morning. So anyone interested in learning how to do Whatnot and want some hacks and some tricks, Kent and I have really deep dove into that. And what makes us successful at it, we now share with you.
Yeah, and I will say there's several people in Max's Paper Gold podcast group, or Paper Gold group, that have tried these tips, and their first show is successful. I mean, there's several people. Actually, I think the best example is probably Book Peddler Phil.
Sure.
First show, he put up some good stuff, and I think he sold almost $1,000 his first show.
Yeah. Also, Karuna did very well.
Yep.
Karuna did very well on the last raid train. And we know Wardell just does excessively well every day doing what he does, but he's still expanding. Wardell's still expanding, and where he goes, it's going to be an amazing journey to watch.
And I think anyone that has some decent quality stuff, it doesn't have to be $200 books. It could be like $20 to $30 books. Me and Max could get you set up and have a successful show.
Yeah. We even talked about that this morning. Can you sell 10 books every hour, or can you sell 10 books an hour for $10 and make $100 on Whatnot?
Yep. And actually, you just helped Josie have a sale.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
First show ever, and it was maps, and there's not even a map category.
Not maps, posters.
Oh, posters.
I did maps.
Max did maps. And Max had a great map show.
Yeah, I sold out.
And I've never seen anyone selling maps. Never.
Leave it to me to try it. Leave it to me.
Yeah. So if you ever want help with a Whatnot show, definitely reach out to either one of us on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. And we could definitely help you get set up and running. All right, that might be it.
Yeah. We will be here next Monday at 5:30, Junkman, not 5 o'clock. I knew something was wrong, and I didn't want to question Ken, but I knew something was wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Dang, I was just about to lay down for a nap too, so I had to rush to get here.
All right. I look forward to the video on Wednesday on Whatnot, Ken. So we'll talk to everybody next Monday.
Yep. Thank y'all. We appreciate you.